Robert Bringhurst OC is a Canadian poet, typographer and author. Bringhurst has translated substantial works from Haida and Navajo, as well as classical Greek and Arabic. He wrote the Elements of Typographic Style, a reference book of typefaces, glyphs and the visual and geometric arrangement of type. He was named an Officer of the Order of Canada in June 2013. He lives on Quadra Island, near Campbell River, British Columbia, with his wife Jans Wicki, a poet and philosopher. Life. Born in Los Angeles, California, he was raised in Utah, Montana, Wyoming, Alberta, and British Columbia. Bringhurst studied architecture, linguistics, and physics at Mid and comparative literature and philosophy at the University of Utah. He holds a BA from Indiana University, and an MFA in creative writing from the University of British Columbia. In 2006, he was awarded an honorary doctorate from the University of the Fraser Valley, and in 2016 was made a Doctor of Letters by Simon Fraser University. Bringhurst taught literature, art history and history of typography at several universities and held fellowships from the Canada Council for the Arts, the Social Sciences and Humanities Research Council of Canada, the American Philosophical Society, and the Guggenheim Foundation. Literary career. His 1992 publication, The Elements of Typographic Style, was praised as the finest book ever written about typography, by type designers Jonathan Hoeffler and Tobias Frere Jones. A collection of his poetry, The Beauty of the Weapons, was shortlisted for a Governor General's Award in 1982, and a story as sharp as a knife. His work on Haida symbolism was nominated for a Governor General's Award in 2000. Bringhurst won the Lieutenant Governor's Award for Literary Excellence in 2005, an award which recognizes British Columbia writers who have contributed to the development of literary excellence in the province. Work in Haida. Bringhurst has a strong interest in linguistics, translating works from classical Greek, Arabic, Navajo, and, most significantly, Haida. His interest in Haida culture stems from his friendship and close association with the influential Haida artist Bill Reed, with whom he wrote The Raven Steals the Light in 1984, among several other significant collaborations. It was this friendship that in 1987 started Bringhurst on the philanthropic endeavor of recording the Haida canon. The result of this labor was a trilogy of works collectively titled Masterworks of the Classical Haida Myths. The essays in its first volume, A Story as Sharp as Knife, and particularly its 9th chapter, The Prosody of Meaning, constitute an important contribution to the understanding of the poetics of oral literatures. His translations from Haida have been viewed as an attempt to preserve the Haida culture, which in 1991 was considered part of a group likely to be lost unless strong efforts are made very quickly to perpetuate them. The Haida translation has caused some controversy. Bringhurst was accused of academic exploitation and cultural appropriation. In 2001, the CBC radio program Ideas aired a two-part series called Land to Stand On. Quote, the series' first episode featured a string of Haida claiming that Bringhurst's work is about keeping us in our place, written without asking us, and replete with serious errors twisting it into the poetry that he wants. In 1999, the Globe and Mail published a report on the Haida reaction to A Story as Sharp as a Knife by Del Wedder. Wedder's piece was later criticized for citing only two Haida sources, claiming they could speak for the entire Haida community, and was described as an inflammatory article, not likely to be mistaken for exemplary journalism. The Globe and Mail published Bringhurst's response, which was later called considerably more measured. In 2001, Jeff Lear reviewed A Story as Sharp as a Knife, saying Bringhurst has neither formal linguistic education nor significant experience with spoken Haida. undoubting Bringhurst's ability to translate from Haida. Lear's review compared Bringhurst's work unfavorably to Enrico's Skidgate Haida Myths and Histories, and referred to the Weather Review as an authoritative source. Lear's publisher, the International Journal of American Linguistics, retracted the review and apologized to Bringhurst for publishing some unfounded statements from another author that might be read to impugn Professor Bringhurst's qualifications or integrity. The journal's sole intention in publishing the book review was to bring an important work by a well-respected scholar to the attention of its readers. It was not the journal's intent to transmit erroneous perceptions of Professor Bringhurst's training or scholarship. Most academic discussion and recognition of Bringhurst's work in Haida has been positive. Linguist Delheims wrote a review of the masterworks of the classical Haida Mythlas trilogy in Language in Society, praising the trilogy. He said it should become a classic reference point for Haida scholars in the future. In 2004, Bringhurst won the Edward Sapir Prize for masterworks of the classical Haida Mythlas. The committee giving the award was headed by Leanne Hinton, an expert in American Indian languages, and chair of the Department of Linguistics at the University of California, Berkeley. Bringhurst has been defended by Margaret Atwood, who says that territorial squabbling cannot obscure the fact that Bringhurst's achievement is gigantic as well as heroic, and that far from appropriating native voices, masterworks of the classical Haida Mythlas restores to life two exceptional poets we ought to know. The CBC documentary was attacked in print for relying entirely on the fallacy, convenient to the producers, that Bringhurst had not consulted with any Haida. Bringhurst, with the help of Bill Reid, had spent the better part of the previous decade working with members of the Haida community. People from other indigenous Canadian communities, such as late Cree elder Wilna Hodgson, C.M. Som, have also defended Bringhurst. In a letter to the editor of Books in Canada, she called A Story as Sharp as a Knife a gift to First Nation people across, and a true masterpiece in the growing genre of spoken texts. In her opinion, Bringhurst's efforts are clearly informed with the kind of integrity that all translators might strive to emulate. Bringhurst says that culture is not genetic, and that he pays respect to Native American languages like Haida by allowing works from those languages to be appreciated as art by as wide an audience as possible. He says he always intended his translations to be in literary history, not in the interpretation of present-day Haida culture. Bibliography. Poetry. The Shipwrights Log 1972. Cadaster 1973, Deuteronomy 1974, 8 Objects 1975, Bergschrun 1975, Sioux Halems Mountain 1982, The Beauty of the Weapons, Selected Poems 197282-1982, 1985. Tending the Fire 1985, The Blue Roofs of Japan 1986. Pieces of Map, Pieces of Music 1986, 1987. Conversations with a Toad 1987. The Calling. Selected Poems 1995-1995. Elements 1995. The Book of Silences 2001. Ursa Major 2003. New World Suite No. 3, A Poem in 4 Movements for 3 Voices 2006. Selected Poems 2009. Selected Poems 2010. Selected Poems 2012. Stopping by 2012. Prose Ocean, Paper, Stone 1984. The Raven Steals the Light 1984. Shovels, Shoes and the Slow Rotation of Letters 1986. The Black Canoe, Bill Reid and the Spirit of Haida Gwaii 1991. Boats is saintlier than captains. 13 Ways of Looking at Morality, Language, and Design 1997. Native American Oral Literatures and the Unity of the Humanities 1998. A Short History of the Printed Word 1999. A Story as Sharp as a Knife, The Classical Haida and the World 1999, 2nd ed. 2011. The Elements of Typographic Style 1992, Revised 1996, 2004, 2005 and 2008. The Solid Form of Language, An Essay on Writing and Meaning 2004. The Tree of Meaning, 13 Talks 2006. Everywhere Being is Dancing 2007. The Surface of Meaning, Books and Book Design in Canada 2008. What is Reading For? 2011. Palatino, The Natural History of a Typeface. Translation. The latter two volumes of the trilogy entitled Masterworks of the Classical Haida. The first volume, A Story as Sharp as a Knife, is Bringhurst's prose work about Haida literature, and is not primarily a work of translation. Gondal of the Kayal Lanas, 9 Visits to the Myth World, Sky of the Kunakiai, or Why, Being in Being. The Collected Works of a Master Haida 2001. Parmenides, The Fragments 2003. Sky of the Kunakiai, or Why, Syaksa, Floating Overhead. The Kuna Cycle Section 3.3 2007. Edited Works Visions, Contemporary Art in Canada 1983. Jan Chichil, The Form of the Book, Essays on the Morality of Good Design 1991. Bill Reed, Solitary Raven, The Essential Writings 2000, 2nd ed. 2009. Carving the Elements, A Companion to the Fragments of Parmenides 2004. Francois Mandeville, This Is What They Say, translated from Chipewyan by Ron Scollin. 2009. K. Amer, The Scythe and the Rabbit. Simon de Collins and the Culture of the Book in Renaissance Paris 2012. Commentary. Listening for the Heartbeat of Being.